300 years ago, in Joseon before human civilization flourished, there was a war, and that happens between humans and monsters. The Great War was a huge and deadly battle that took many lives. Humans were on the losing side against the monsters, and there was someone who saved humanity in that war. People called him Miak-gui-sa, which means the monster hunter. 300 years later went past and everything went peacefully. There was an old woman who was mumbling, carrying a bag of goods. She said, it is so heavy." Then a priest who was at that place offered a help on the grandma. The old woman smiled and said, "Oh, if you help me, I will be grateful." The priest said, "Give it to me, please." The old woman gave the goods to the priest and replied, "Thank you, pastor." The priest laughs and tells the old woman that he is not a pastor but a priest. The old woman pointed at the top. She said, "But it might be a little heavy. Is that okay?" "Just a little more. I have to go to my grandson's house." Looking at the place, the priest was shocked. He just forcibly laughed and said, "Your grandson lives in a place with a nice view. Oh, I guess it is a little exercise as well." The priest was panting as they walked slowly to the top. The old woman said, "Thank you, pastor," but the priest corrects her again, saying that he is a priest. The priest put the things down as they already reached the top. The priest wipes off his sweat. He said, "Is it okay if I stop here? I can take you all the way to your doorstep." The old woman replied, "My grandson said that he would come to pick me up, so it is okay to stop here." The old woman gives him a small drink. She said, "If I hadn't met you, I would have been in big trouble. I cannot give you much, but please have this. Here, you must be thirsty, right? Let's take a shot." The priest smiled as he received the drink. He said, "It is fine, but why are you giving me something like this? Why didn't you give it to your grandson?" "I will drink it well, thank you." The priest started drinking the small drink that was given by the old woman. The old woman happily told the priest something. She said, "Pastor, I want to tell you something about my grandson. You know that he is a doctor, a real doctor." The priest happily responded, "Your grandson is amazing. But are you mentioning this on purpose?" The old woman said, "He was 3 years old when he learned the Korean alphabet." Then the old woman's face started to become gloomy. She said, "But my grandson met the wrong friends, and he was completely ruined and miserable. He is so pitiful. He couldn't refuse because his character is so weak." Hearing that made the priest saddened. He told the old woman that it was so unfortunate. The priest said that it is the reason why we need to make good friends. Then he suddenly lose consciousness. The old woman starts mumbling, she said, "And that is why he is drowning in debt. What should I do?" Then the old woman starts questioning the priest who loses consciousness. She said, "This old lady needs your help. You understand, right, priest?" Seeing the face of the priest fully unconscious, the old woman's face turns into something creepy while she is smiling. She said, "But still, as a priest, you are doing a good thing by saving many people's lives. Even what you believe in must approve this, right?" The unconscious priest was put on the operating table, and beside him was tools used for operating humans, as what the old woman said that her grandson was a doctor. The grandson asks, "Grandma, but why specifically a pastor? He is not old and it is uncomfortable." The old woman, who looks grumpy, replied, "He is not a pastor but a priest." "Don't make me angry. And why do we have to judge others like that? These days, young people are so disrespectful that they wouldn't help an elderly person. If you are so uncomfortable, then why don't you find a solution yourself, you rotten bastard?" The grandson put on his surgical mask. He said, "Okay, I got it. You are starting your nagging again." The old woman replied, "If a rotten old lady goes through all the trouble to help me, I will just say thank you. You are just like your mother, absolutely." The grandson could only agree on his grandmother, so she will stop nagging. The priest starts mumbling and panting heavily. Seeing the action of the priest, the old woman said, "The priest's anesthesia is wearing off. Start quickly, you damn bastard." This crazy quack doctor raises his surgical knife. He said, "Yes, I understand that I must hurry, grandmother. Pastor, no priest. I will start from the liver. Don't wake up or it will hurt if you wake up." As he was about to start his surgery, the grandson, who is a quack doctor, said that it would be over soon. The old woman starts lighting her cigarette. She said, "Because of you damn bastard, I couldn't retire and this sheet happened. It is not my grandson, it is my enemy, my enemy." Then the grandson suddenly shouted during his operation. The old woman looks back and asks, "What is it? Why are you causing trouble again?" The grandson was shaking from fear as he sat down from shock. He told his grandmother that there was a woman inside the stomach. Inside the priest's stomach was actually a woman who was sleeping well. The old woman, who did not believe his grandson like he is speaking nonsense, pinches his ears. The old woman said, "Did you stay up all night on the computer again?" The grandson was pointing his fingers at the priest. He said, "No, I am serious. There is a person inside the stomach." And then the woman who was actually in the stomach of the priest started to open her eyes. The old woman told her grandson to stop speaking nonsense, or else if he will open his mouth again, she will start nagging. But as the beautiful woman slowly rises up from the stomach of the priest, the old woman could not believe at what she saw. As the pretty woman completely rises up from inside, she starts speaking. She said, "It has been 300 years. The fresh air outside. It is so refreshing. It is so warm." The old woman got also scared as she grabs the shoulder of her grandson. She shouted, "Don't come closer, you bastard. Why are you naked? Are you a ghost?" This pretty woman starts to pluck one of her hair strands. Then she blows it to where the two people is standing. She said, "Thank you. Thanks to all of you. You have opened the gates of hell. As a reward, I will turn you into monsters." The woman said Yo Bai and Mo, which is a monster transformation spell. The old woman starts asking what is the words that the pretty lady said. Her grandson starts calling his grandmother, saying that he felt something strange in his body. The grandmother was shocked as she saw her grandson turn into a monster. She told her grandson that his body swelled and grew bigger. The grandmother also turns into a monster, a physical level 3 monster called Hong Kong Grandma, while the grandson was a physical level 3 monster called Wrestling Goblin. This pretty woman smiled and clapped her hands. She said, "They suit you well. From now on you will be my puppets." This pretty woman looks at the priest who is on the operating table. She said, "Oh, this is too bad. To think I ended up like this because of those humans you liked so much. You, the archenemy of monsters. It's the monster hunter Miyakui-sa." The open wound from the surgery of the priest, who was actually Miyakui-sa, starts regenerating so fast. The pretty wicked woman starts plucking one of her hair strands again. He was about to make Miyakui-sa one of the monsters. She said, "That is why I told you. Humans aren't worth protecting. So, from now on become allies of the monsters. Miyakui-sa." But as this woman was about to make Miyakui-sa a monster, Miyakui-sa's eyes suddenly lightens up and his consciousness goes back. Miyakui-sa suddenly bites the fingers of the woman which was holding that strand of hair. The wicked woman saw her finger was cut off perfectly, and he complimented Miyakui-sa. She said, "You regenerate in that state? You are truly amazing." Then the wicked woman was shocked when she saw Miyakui-sa appeared in front of her, aiming to punch her. The punch of Miyakui-sa landed on the head of the woman, and the wicked woman was pushed on the walls, creating a huge explosion from the impact. But before Miyakui-sa could release another attack, his hands were grabbed by the monster grandma, and the tails of the monster grandma hit the side of Miyakui-sa, creating a large injury. Miyakui-sa was coughing from that attack. In his mind, the Hong Kong grandma has the tail of the nine-tailed fox. But why is the tail in front? Then the wrestling goblin suddenly shouted. He said, "Take this. Let's have a round in wrestling." He called that attack a foot sweep, but actually, he used his hand to punch the side of the face of Miyakui-sa. Then the wrestling goblin released another attack called belly hit, but that attack was actually an uppercut that hit Miyakui-sa. Another attack he called piggyback hit was released that slams at the back of Miyakui-sa. Miyakui-sa felt an intense damage. He starts questioning his mind. Why is he using wrestling moves? I was just going to beat him up. The wrestling goblin releases a final covering move that kicks Miyakui-sa, pinning him to the ground. The wicked woman smiled and said, "That is enough. Don't kill him." Miyakui-sa was on the ground, and it was hard for him to get back from those consecutive attacks. The wicked lady said that Miyakui-sa was so pitiful. The wicked woman's hair started to grow, and she used it to grab Miyakui-sa. She said, "It would be nice if we were on the same side. If you don't like that, well, you can only be eaten." She uses her hair to enter the mouth of Miyagi-sa as she was about to grab something inside. She said, "Let's see, where do you want to be?" Miyagi-sa was coughing as the large hairs were entering his body, and the wicked woman grabs something from inside his body. It was a shining orb. Miyagi-sa doesn't want that thing to be in the hands of that wicked woman. The wicked woman said, "I found it. So this is the bead of the monster hunter Miyagi-sa that I have heard about. I will enjoy eating it." Her mouth starts to enlarge as she was about to swallow that bid that made her look scary. As that wicked woman completely swallowed whole the life orb of Miyagi-sa, Miyagi-sa's body starts to change. His youthful appearance changes into an old man. He was panting as his body starts to have wrinkles and his hair starts falling down. Miyagi-sa said that the orb was holding his vitality. After swallowing Miyagi-sa's vitality, the wicked woman was in ecstasy. She said, "Wow, I can taste the flavor of every monster you have eaten. It is the best." The old body of Miyagi-sa didn't want to surrender. He didn't want to die just like that. Miyagi-sa grits his teeth as he was about to grab one last chance of escape. With all of his remaining strength in his old body that he has, he concentrates everything on his butt. With that, his butt exploded, and a fart explosion happened. He called that Miyagi-sa's unique old-fashioned magic technique. Then he skyrocketed at the air, escaping the grasp of that wicked lady. The roof was broken as Miyagi-sa was successful on his escape. The woman said, "Is this his last resort?" An old-fashioned technique that squeezed out his remaining strength amount. The grandma monster was also looking upward. She asked, "Should we chase after him?" The wicked lady replied, "No, you can't chase after the old-fashioned technique of the monster hunter Miyagi-sa." She smiled and said, "Rather than that, I have to let you know that the Hell Demon is back to turn the world into hell." This woman was actually one of the strongest demons, a summoning type level 1 monster called Hell Demon. On that night in the park, a group of bullies was bullying one student. The leader of the bully called the bully student the nickname Hole. Then he greeted him with a happy birthday. The girl with him starts laughing, saying that it is funny. The leader of the bully, whose name is Jong-bo, gives him a lot of snacks. He laughs and says, "I was wondering what to get you as a gift." But as expected, eating seemed like the best option. "Don't leave anything behind. Eat it all." The bullied kid forcibly smiled and said, "Thank you, Jong-bo, but it seems like this is too much." Hearing that made Jong-bo so angry that he slapped this poor student. He angrily said, "So what? You are not going to eat it? I went through the trouble of buying it for you, and now I feel disappointed. Damn it!" The poor student could only accept the order of Jong-bo and said that he will eat it well. This poor student's name is not Hole. His name is Goyoung. Since he was young, he was always been bullied because of his petite build. And this devil-like bastard's name is Kang Jong-bo. Jong-bo starts filming Goyoung. He laughs and said, "Come on, eat it all up. Let's film an eating show." Actually, this bastard and Goyoung have been friends since they were kids. They were born and raised in the same neighborhood, which is why they are closer. Goyoung considers him as the only friend he had. But when they enter high school, he suddenly become a bully. Out of fear, Goyoung has no choice but to follow. The devil-like Jong-bo said, "Yeah, you have to eat well to grow quickly. Eat it all up. It is the 15th one. There are 35 left. If you vomit, you have to eat the vomit too." Jong-bo and his friends starts laughing while filming the poor Goyoung. Knowing that his friend suddenly changed starts to bother Goyoung. He feels like Jong-bo became a different person. Then Jong-bo's phone started vibrating as someone texted him. Jong-bo said, "Huh? The third-year seniors are going to drink alcohol? Do you want to go?" The lady replied, "Sure, it was getting boring here anyway." The other bully also said, "That is good to hear. I was craving alcohol right now." Hearing that made Goyoung feel a sense of relief and think that he could escape from eating too much as they were going to drink alcohol somewhere. But it didn't go as what Goyoung predicted. With an evil face, Jong-bo said, "Did you hear that, Hole? We have to go. So, eat faster. I will give you 5 minutes." Hearing that made Goyoung look distressed. In his mind, "Huh? Okay, but that cannot be possible. You devil-like bastard." After a few minutes, Jong-bo and his friend left. Goyoung ended up panting as he started vomiting all that he had eaten. In his mind, "My vomit is black like feces." Why does he keep tormenting me by making me eat all of it? Goyoung notices something. He said, but it is strange. No matter how much I eat, I don't gain weight. And on top of that, I already have enough enemies. Then Goyoung heard a strange noise. It is the sound of a man who is in pain. He starts asking what is that sound. As he followed the noise, he saw a hand on the ground. As he looked closer at it, it was an old man who was lying on the ground. It was actually Miyakui-sa, who successfully escaped using his strange technique. Goyoung, who starts panicking, picks up his phone to call the emergency number. He said, "Hey, are you okay? Hold on a little longer. I will call 119. Miyakui-sa, who was almost out of energy, said, "The Hell Demon has awakened. Hell Demon will summon monsters from hell. She is trying to open the gate of hell." Goyoung thinks that what the old man in front of him said was all nonsense, thinking that maybe this old man had gone senile. Goyoung starts dialing on his phone. He said, "Oh, yes, I see, but I will still call 119. Miyakui-sa starts to get serious. He grabs the hand of Goyoung and said, "I am not joking. If the gate to hell opens, the distinction between the human world and hell will disappear. The world will literally turn into hell." Goyoung asks, "What do you mean hell? Then what should we do?" Miyakui-sa starts pulling his body to stand up. He is now look like a zombie as he stands up with only a few energies left in his body. Miyakui-sa told Goyoung to eat him up. Goyoung didn't believe at what Miyakui-sa said. Goyoung said, "Damn, you are an old grandfather, right? Getting excited and taking off your clothes outside. You are getting old and rusty." But Goyoung was shocked when the old man grabs and open up his mouth. But the thing that shocks him more is when his mouth stretches like he has eaten the Gomu Gomu no Mi fruit of Luffy. Bro became the pirate king in an instant. As Miyakui-sa widely opens the mouth of Goyoung, he told him that he will give him the power of the monster hunter Miyakui-sa. As he slowly enters Goyoung's mouth, Miyakui-sa told him that his faith from now on is to eat monsters and fight for the sake of humans. As he slowly being swallowed whole by Goyoung, he told him that they need to fight and he was sorry for passing the burden on him, a cruel fate that was waiting for him. Goyoung starts panicking, asking what happened. He started shaking and was looking pale. He said, "What? Did he just go into my mouth? How did that happen?" Then Goyoung looked at the side when Jong-bo called him, who was actually drunk right now. He said, "Hole, you are still here. I am back again. It would be a pity to just let it pass since it is your birthday party. You have to drink on your birthday party." Jong-bo raised 2 plastic bags of alcoholic drinks. He laughs and said, "This time it is a drinking show. Can you drink all of this?" But Goyoung still couldn't move on about what happened before and he was still shaking. He asks Jong-bo if he has seen a grandfather just now. Jong-bo just laughs at him and said, "What nonsense are you saying?" But a large mouth was approaching Jong-bo at this time. It was actually the mouth of Goyoung, who was trying to swallow Jong-bo whole. He starts asking in his mind, "Huh? What is this? What am I eating? Am I eating Jong-bo?" Even I, who was making this video, is asking what the hell am I creating?